Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's April 23rd, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbano. The grains are mixed in Chicago today. Let's turn over to fire tip to see how we ended. Corn was down 7 1/4 cents for the May contract. Soybeans up 2 1/2 for May. Wheat in Chicago down 4 3/4. In Kansas City, wheat was also off 2 1/4 today. You know, Logan, we didn't get a whole lot of fundamental news across the news wires today. We did get one bit of information. The export sale to China for 13-14 on soybeans, a total of 392,000 metric tons were sold there.
Yeah, you know, if we turn our attention here to corn, really a little bit of a worrisome day here for the old crop corn market. If we take a look here, we had May corn trading down 7 1/4. July contract was actually down 9 1/2, and if we take a look at a daily candlestick chart of that July corn contract, you can see here's the big move that we made following the March 1st quarterly grain stocks report. It looked like we had a pretty good low put in here around 614. We were able to rebound about 20 cents higher, but we since cupped over here. Really not a lot of fundamentals to hold this market up. I think this area 640 is going to remain important here. If we're able to close below it, certainly opening the door to a move lower here, and this market appears to be kind of doing what it's been doing coming out of the highs from last summer, making lower highs and lower lows. So keep an eye on that area, 614. But you know, really the focus right now, Brock, seems like it's on new crop. Obviously, people are getting anxious to get out there and get planted. Yesterday, we only saw 4% of this corn crop's actually in the ground at the moment here. And we got some important maps out today from Planalytics. Can you kind of break down just the extent of the moisture out there?
Yeah, it really seems like the weather forecast coming up for the next 7 to 10 days have been a little bit more favorable. So that's really been pressuring, especially those new crop contracts, down quite a bit more than what the old crop contracts have been pushed. But if we take a look at this percent soil moisture capacity here, this map provided by Planalytics, you can see that we're mostly saturated across the eastern part of the Corn Belt. Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, some of those key states have plenty of moisture right now, and that's actually hampering some of the activity of getting out in the fields and getting planting. But the western part of the Corn Belt still remains to be a little bit of a concern right now. We see we're down in the mid-40 range for much of Nebraska, out into the 25% range or so in some parts of South Dakota. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that as we move further into spring. If we take a look at how we've changed over the last week from the last reporting period that ended April 30th, this reporting period April 13th, excuse me. This reporting period actually ended April 20th. You can see that over the last week we've gotten much wetter over Iowa, Indiana, Illinois, and even up into Minnesota and Wisconsin. A lot of that in Minnesota, Wisconsin is actually snow, so that's actually going to slow some of the progress that we should be seeing right now.
Yeah, you know, one thing that Planalytics does too is actually report on greenness, and if we take a look here at the most recent greenness report here, just updated today, as you can see here, we have pretty good biomass reported in the southern Corn Belt. That's shown here by the bright green areas. The brown areas, though, are low biomass, and the white is actually where we still have observable snow cover. So as you can see here, much of the northern Corn Belt, in northern Iowa, southern Minnesota, still not really in any condition to get planted right now. Biomass remains very low, and that's really in stark contrast to what we saw last year at this time. Last year, we saw even in southern Minnesota, we already had emergence. We had high biomass reported. So just kind of another metric here to gauge the extent at which planting progress is getting pushed back. And if you guys want to take a look at any of this for yourself, we offer Planalytics data through GrainHedge here. So give us a call at the office, 877-472-4607. And if you want to get some live quotes over at your home or office, feel free to give us a call or visit us at our website, grainhedge.com. You know, in general, that's kind of what we saw here for a Tuesday. Tomorrow morning, we'll be getting the EIA ethanol report out. We'll be tweeting about those numbers when they come out. Thanks a lot for joining us on GrainTV. We'll see you tomorrow.